is his hand. He has reduced his hand to 6. This is a island into a Mausoleum Wanderer. So Austin is a higher seed right there. This is Starry playing his forest, and then he's shuffling his cards in hand. He's going to tap the forests. One of the OGs out there would know that that 6 cards. OGs in there would know. Oh, I think that's a Birds of Paradise. OGs in there would know that the clear back playmat is where it's at. All right, that's a Phantom, Supreme Phantom. 3 damage. Starry goes down to 17. Obviously, he's not going to play block with a bird. That's another card in hand. Honestly, I miss this. I miss this sleeve, the clear back sleeve. Shout out to the gang. All right, Starry is now deliberating his next turn. An explosive turn from the Spirits player right here. That's already 5 or like 3 power in play. Starry is now playing another card, depending on what card it is. That's a Utopia Sprawl, targeting the forest. Wait, what? Couldn't he have just went with a bird and then Utopia Sprawl and then cast a 2 to cast from there? That's a birds, right, guys? Okay, I guess. Let's see why. Is there a reason why Starry would do that though? All right, okay. So you might be wondering why Starry is playing with a what you call this card? Fabled Passage. This is to minimize damage taken. So when you can order the same Dragon Sleeve clear matte sleeves Starry is using at Top Deck Games. Message the page today. Definitely, yo. Shout out to the gang. If you are nostalgic, you want to flex those magic cards that are pristine in condition, go get them sleeves. Uncle sleeves. All right, that's another Alpha Strike, bringing Starry down to 14. PD. Oh, Starry is land light now. Not really in a sense. He's just tempoed down, tempoed down. And this is the beauty of Spirits, right? After playing a decent amount of threats on board, he can now just, that's a cut right there. Starry draws a card. Let's see. Starry has ramped effectively to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if he lands drop here, that's the 5th. He can just basically slam a Niv. Oh, he's just gonna pass the turn. Ooh, okay. Now while he's tapped out, right? That's a Spectral Sailor. I think there was a window there that if there he has a removal and he wants to remove the Supreme Phantom, he could have had a Spectral Sailor on the stack, or I mean, it doesn't even matter here. He could have just have like Spectral Sailor come into play, and then trigger on the stack. Here's a Lightning Helix to your okay, that's 3 to cast right there. Ooh, that's a command. That's a cool call as well. If he had the Lightning Helix here, what he could have done is target the Mausoleum Wanderer and create a food token. I mean, a treasure token. Not really a food token, a treasure token. Treasure token, guys. Treasure token. Don't mind if I do. But if that's the case, then to break the symmetry, Austin can just sacrifice the Wanderer, because Wanderer is for 2, right? He could counter it. That's a Rattle Chains, targeting the Mausoleum Wanderer. But because the command has two, um, he has two targets, legal targets. It still resolves. Targeting Starry for drawing two cards and discarding two cards. This is not a good spot if you're Starry. You're down to 14. You're facing a board of 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage down to 5. Two more cards in hand. Ugh. How do you bounce back from this? Starry has a. Let's see, what does he have? Vindicate won't do it. Supreme Verdict would do it though. One Supreme Verdict. So Starry is indicating he has four cards in hand. He's now gonna untap. Starry is down to 6. Uh at upkeep, he's going to suspend. Wow. Great card. Great card. Suspend. Suspend does exile target creature, put 2 time counters on it. If it doesn't have a suspend, it play as if that last card is not a counter spell. Right? Because otherwise you don't have a choice. Your bird is suspended. You have 1 mana remaining here. Opponent has the Mausoleum Wanderer. Yep. Starry picks it up. And that's the Starry started off with a fabled passage. That definitely tickles my fancy. Right? Opponent. Ooh, okay. This is a sign, clear sign that your opponent is a bit lacking on the land hand side, where Austin decides to play his Mimic as a land. Starry fetches a forest. Let's see what his play is. Tap, keep, draw. They're gonna play that land and into a Renin 6. This is the perfect opening that you, if you're Starry and you're playing Niv-to-Light, this is the way you want the games to go. You want it to be played slow and you would want it to have a value engine in play, and that is in the form of Renin 6. One of the weakness of this deck though, by the way, is the land composition, because you have too many land colors. So that means that you are incentivized to actually disrupt that flow via disrupting the land. However, if the deck packs 4 Ren and 6, making sure that, or at least ensuring that the opponent can definitely, or like you can, or the Niv player can definitely go to that 5 land drop critical mass. All right. Star brought back the Fabled Passage and played it again. It's going to fetch again. Any fast effects? Starry will now search another basic land. Put into play tapped. What an awesome card, Ren and 6. Not too unfair. Just right. Alright. And then from the looks of it, I don't think Starry has any more plays here unless he has an Abrupt Decay at end of turn or a Birds of Paradise. Yep, that's a Birds of Paradise. And he's going to pass the turn. Starry he still has 6 cards in hand, if I'm not mistaken. Austin is picking up the cards in his hand. I think he'll be going for a. Yep. I don't think Austin has any response to this bird. I don't think he'll be able to counter the bird. Rattle chains. All right. Rattle change triggers. Untaps upkeep draw. Austin now would either decide. So if you guys are wondering what the sleeve Austin has, it's a Starry Night. It's a Van Gogh sleeve. Oh, and his opponent is Starry. Interesting. I think that's a Sea Chrome Coast, if I'm not mistaken. Swings with the rattle chains. Swinging to Ren and 6. This, again, if you're Starry, you're happy with this. You're glad that your life total is not being pressured. You have another activation of Ren and 6 next turn. And again, another pass from Austin. Yep, he's going to force the interaction. He's going to shoot the rattle chains. So that's a Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay. Is there something to save the rattle chains though? I would have sequenced this differently. I would have played land first. Ooh, okay. So Austin actually wanted to make sure that he plays all of his cards here, plus with a Mausoleum Wonder protection in a sense. But the Rattle Chain dies. So I think the players are just clarifying what happened here. Rattle Chain dies, yes. Three cards in hand. Starry with a land drop. I think you are very clear here to go Niv. Shackle Guys foil. That's a 4 to cast right here. Is this Omnath? Yes, this is Omnath. Shackle Geist can only block creatures with flying, top 2 untap spirits, top target creature you don't control. Omnath resolves, draws a card, that's a land drop. Starry gains 4 life. And now it's a matter of fetching a land and then casting Niv, marking the end. Let's see if he has it. He also has an option to just go fetch, shock. Omnath, such a beautiful card. Broken in standard, but fair play in modern. Just goes to show what the power levels are between formats. Let's look at what he's going to do. 4 different kinds of mana except for the black one, i.e. Wurg, white, blue, red, and green. Wurg, 4 mana using the other 2 mana. I think this is a Lightning Helix alternate art. I think that would go directly to either the Shackle Geist or I think I would go for the Wanderer here. No, no, just go for the Shackle Geist so that you can gain life if you want. He's just gonna tap the Omnath. Geist dies. He gains 3 life. And now Starry still remaining 3 mana. I think it's time to bring back Yorion to hand. There's no need for to counter a spell. Ooh, that's a prismatic ending. Unless you have a prismatic ending. So Starry is just now left with green and blue. I don't think he has any spell with the green and blue. He's going to let it expire and pass the turn. Yikes! Not a good start for Austin. This is the thing that I mentioned a while ago. When you're stuck with this position, if you're white and blue and you don't have the tempo advantage, it's very hard to bounce back from this specific scenario. Starry has Omnath and very tough. 4 mana representing collected company. Not really. Okay, this is a land draw card, land drop, gain another life, fetch. I think it depends now. That's a land drop right there. Another fetch land. Remember that Starry still has that Fabled Passage in hand. Starry reserving the ability for Ren and 6. I mean, for me, I think it would have been better if he just went with Ren and 6. I mean, Ren and 6 play, so that you don't get to show the other card. Here's an attack. Omnath is getting frisky. It's 14. Oh, 4 damage, 16. 16. Austin is now down to 16. Getting frisky. And now it ultimately becomes what is in Starry's hand. -1. Search for, I think that's a Windswept Heath if I'm not mistaken. Starry has 4 cards in hand. Yeah, that's a Triome. He's picking up a Triome. He has a Birds now, so it really doesn't matter too much. And looking at the sideboard, oh, he went with a Overgrown Tomb. Untap. Star is down to 24. The way you properly shuffle it. 4 mana floating. Take up, bring back that fetch land. Five cards in hand. Two of those are lands. He's now gonna use 3. I think he's gonna bring back Urian to hand. And then from there, he's gonna play Urian again, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the play. With 2 cards remaining. Or 2 mana remaining. Nope, he's not doing that. Oh, he's still doing it. That's Urian. He's going with a beatdown plan. Precise calculation right here. Dodging the spell queller that's on hand. And any counter spells thereof. Lofty Denial can be countered. Can be paid. So if Urian comes to play, I would flicker in Omnath and Ren and 6. Ren and 6 comes in as a 3/3, right? So it doesn't matter, I would say. Let me double check that fact. Ren and 6. Yep, it comes as a 3/3, so it doesn't matter. Starry flickers the Omnath. End of turn. That's a suspend. Targeting Urian, I would assume. Or is it going to be Omnath? Either way, guys, this is a bad. It doesn't look good for Austin. Doesn't look good. The way you win against this type of deck, especially if it's an 80 card deck, it's a value deck, right? You don't want the turns to drag out. But I think Austin doesn't have a choice here. Probably he's probably gearing up for third game, which is likely what would have happened. Oh, he's shocking in. Okay, I wonder why. What is the five cards here? Untap, start. Urion's getting in there. It's 4 damage. Austin is down to 10. Oops. Let's see now. There's a lot of options here. First off, I would think start to go Ren and 6, pick up, get that land, play that land. And then you're not incentivized to do anything at all here. Unless that's a Utopia sprawl. It's gonna sprawl the mountain. So the reason why I think this is the play is because Starry showed us that he wanted to have the triome later. So he could have just he created a spirit using the land. Two cards for Sir Austin here. Oh no, that's 3 cards now, guys. As I said, there's no point for Starry to do anything here. That's a Supreme Phantom coming in. A bit too late to the party. Is gonna attack for 2 damage. The spirit is getting frisky. Starry will just take this. Oh, it's not. He's going to attack Ren in 6. Sort of makes sense though. Kind of makes sense. The reason why is that you need to affect the board in a sense, and you're not really pressuring Starry's life total, so he's just trying to eliminate the things on board. So suspend now comes in. Starry is asking whether or not it comes in. Suspend comes in. Does he have a spell queller? All right. Austin says good. Omnath comes in, draws a card, and this is looking super bad. Starry can pay a land, gain 4 life, fetch, and then deal 4 damage to everything again. Gain 4 life. That's 28. 5 cards, one of which is a fetch land. So we don't know 4 of those cards. Suspend MTG. Yeah, it gains haste. So Starry is definitely threatening lethal here. So if he takes both of these, he'll be down to 2, and then 2 fetch lands would definitely seal the deal during Starry's main phase. Yep, down to 2. Then Starry will just fetch. Four mana. Probably search a swamp. Not sure if his deck. Okay, his deck has a swamp. And another one. Starry untap because he's reading the card here. So yep, that's another 4 damage. Oh, I see. I think he forgot to bottom 2 cards. So yikes. Okay. So he started with a fetch land, and Starry started with a slow hand as well. He kept a slow hand. Okay. I respect that. So that's a fetch. -1. I think this is going to fetch a Hallowed Fountain. I would assume. So yeah. All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. Let's see. Land drop into A. That's white into A. Passing the turn. Yo. This could be a counter spell deck. Okay. So I think Starry forgot about the fetch land. So you're gonna do the fetch land before. I think that's okay because it wasn't able to see the top card. You can do that, guys, in the tournaments as well. Just make sure that it doesn't lift off the table. All right, on top, upkeep, draw. Let's see if he has a turn two Ren and 6 pillar into A. Okay, it looks like a Ren and 6. That's a Ren and 6. Let's see if opponent has a counter spell. Okay, the way Austin is looking at his hand, I don't think he has. Yikes! Yo, Ren and 6 resolves, gets back that fabled passage, puts it into his hand, and then he passes the turn. Starry has now 7 cards in hand. Turn 2, that Ren and 6 is so powerful. Again, as I said, that's a rattle chains. It's basically a replay of what happened a while ago. So that's a attack to Ren and 6. And top, keep draw. Again, if you're Starry here, you would want to play this in this manner. Wherein you don't have too much pressure on your life total. That's another pillar. Okay, I think Ren, he'll do the same play again as what he'd done a while ago. That's a Ren and 6 play. He's going to shoot the rattle chains. That's another rattle chains. Targeting the rattle chains. All right, so let's see what how Starry deals with this. So he could basically go if he has Kaya's Guile here, rattle chains on deck or on hand or like on the stack. Then he can just go Kaya's Guile, sacrifice and create a bird to protect that Ren and 6. So the mere fact that Starry played another pillar basically tells us whether or not he has. Yep, that's a Kaya's Guile, definitely. Sacrifice and create a 1/1 bird. So that black die actually there relates to Starry's cards in hand. He's saying that he has 4 cards in hand. Oh, actually, no. That's one, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 cards. Ooh, okay. That subtlety took care of the token, and then that attack will take care of Ren and 6. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Ren and 6 is off the board, but again, that was sort of a 2 for 1, and still on the back foot. Austin is not yet out of these woods. That's the fabled passage that we've seen a while ago. This is the fairy. Yikes. Oh no. Okay. I think he will then bounce a. What does he have? What does Austin have? Okay. He can just bounce this rattle chains. Yes. Draws a card. Then from there, I think Starry still has 6 cards in hand. And then he can just pass the turn here safely. Yikes, this is not where you want to be. That's another rattle chains, basically nullifying the effects. Now Starry can opt to wait on what he would fetch for that specific land. If Fairy would take up, Starry can land drop here. Shock. Hmm. Oh, I see. Starry is also keeping track of what our opponent's hand is. 4 cards in hand. Okay. The fairy already ticked up. So now it all boils down to how to defend the fairy. Starry has a full grip. We know none of them. Opponent just Starry just opted to pass, which prompts us to believe that this is a instant speed Niv-to-Light. Ooh, okay. So he has to do it now before that thing happens. That's a good heads up play for Austin as well, playing that Mausoleum Wanderer. So he's basically saying, okay, here's my Wanderer. You need to play your Bring to Light now. All right, which Starry would happily oblige. That's a fetch land. Or a swamp is good. Okay. Okay. Starry, that's not a legal play. So now Starry will opt to do a different approach. That's a prismatic command. Still, wait, is that prismatic command? Yes, I think it is. Shoot the thing and then either create a token because he has already shown the prismatic vista. Yeah, he created a treasure token. The token beside Teferi is a treasure token. So, yep. The Pillar of the Perun says it needs to be a multicolor spell. Sacrifice. That's a prismatic. It's going to sacrifice that. All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. Tick up. Okay. With 1 white, Starry can then just cast Niv right here. That one, he can definitely cast that. Parun. 6, 7, 8. I think it's 10, right? So that's a lightning helix. Oh, that's a lot. Yep. Parun and another Niv. Yo, that's a lot of cards in hand. That's a stacked hand. That's 4 cards. That's a Ren and 6. And then Starry still has a land drop here. Yikes, this is okay. Very tough. It's a very tough 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just enough. It's a good start. Okay, I'm just speechless, guys. I'm just thinking about how to. All right. Well, at least you have your Teferi. Teferi to Teferi, I think you can bounce. He has to bounce Niv, right? He has to. He's forced to. Yep. Okay. Oh, he's not gonna bounce the Niv. Well, Starry was actually taking the back a while there. He thought that Niv would go back to their hand, buying tempo. But I think uh, Austin's thought process there was that he wouldn't want to have to give Starry even more card advantage. That's a Utopia Sprawl for red, I would assume. And then this is a Renin 6. This is going to shoot your Teferi. Unless he doesn't have any cards anymore in hand. And then unless he doesn't have any more lands in hand, in which case he's just going to return back his Fabled Passage. But I think he still had lands in hand. He's going to shoot the fairy. Is going to attack. That's 6 damage and down to 12. So the way this deck wins is very methodical. It's now going to tick up. Star has 4 cards in hand. I mean 6 cards, I believe. 7. Oh, 6, 6. I'm right. Austin draws a card. Oh, was brutal. Okay, that's another land from Austin. From this position is very tough now. As I said a while ago, Austin's win conditions for this matchup is to take control of the tempo, but it looks like he has been unlucky in terms of like the draws on cards, and then his opening hand wasn't cooperating. And now Starry has a lot of permanents in play already with the Ren 6 established. And the Teferi, that's another Teferi. Yikes. I think he's just going to buy a little bit of time here. He's going to buy a lot of time. Oh, okay. Nope, not really. So he's just going to draw a card. So if you're Austin right now, what's your win condition? You need to have a critical mass hand of creatures and enough lands to play them at one go. Then hopefully Starry doesn't have anything in hand, but he has a lot. Like he has Lightning Helix. He has essentially his hand has. All right, he's gonna take down, shoot the Teferi again. That Renin 6 is doing a lot of work. That's a take up from Teferi. Here's an attack again. You're down to 6, virtually down to 1. Because Starry has Lightning Helix and the Prismatic Vista in hand. Yeah. It's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. Star is now arranging cards in hand, so honestly, he could have won the game right here. He could have just go attack, take 6, ping you with Renin 6, then Lightning Helix, then yep, that's a Lightning Helix. Down to 3. Here's a 4 to cast or 5 to cast. Bring to light. Another Lightning Helix. Oh, he still has it. Okay. That makes sense. Good job there. Good job. Good job. Starry. with a splashy finish. Let me just congratulate the guys out there.